After 500 hours of playing NBA 2K26, I'm so excited to give y'all the premium 6-8 build that's going to take you through elite level play when it comes to 5-on-5. You're capable of being the best point guard in the game with this build. You have to be skilled regardless of any build you use playing against elite players. But this is the premium because it is getting the most out of the 6-8 by far. Pretty excited to showcase it to you guys and give y'all the information as we go forward. Been a lot of time in this builder, and it is so exciting to finally be here. Seen so many different versions of 6-8s out there, none compare. I just want to be real about that. Not because I am the best player, but I did the most work here. I cannot wait to give it to you. Before I do, I want to say leave a like, subscribe, and comment to show love and support so that the algorithm could know you got to keep it popping out here. With that in mind, this build is specifically for 5-on-5, but it actually can work anywhere once you get a decent amount of cap breakers. You do need about 6 or so cap breakers to be fully optimized, but I would believe everybody should have 6 within the first season. You're going to get 4 from the crew and so much more. 1 from the season, so that's 5. And then, you know, other ways with the lifetime challenges, the rep system. We'll see. Depending on who you are, you should have at least that many. Now, once you start getting more, which you will all year, the build gets ridiculous. But the point of this build is to play against elite teams. In the background, you're watching is 6-8, which is my day 1 version. Did not know all the information that I do now. I'm so glad I do, because even the build at 6-8, virginal version, I have some of the attributes correct. Talk about that in a minute. But we're going to go through the build very quickly in the builder so you can kind of see what to do. Remember, there's cap breakers in mind, and it's a lot of details. You can skip through the video all you want, but I prefer y'all to stay locked in because I'm going to make a full deep dive. It's going to help you learn more about the game, not just for this one build, but in general. A lot of good deep details. That's the point of my videos, not to rush through and get you one little quick tip. This is a lot to learn, so lock in, right? Here we go. It is a 6-8 in the shooting guard position, but it's going to play the point guard. You got to have these attributes, and you got to have these specific details that I'm about to show you. Remember, cap breakers and max plus 1s and 2s are the trick to these builds. So anytime you see it, it isn't what it's meant to be in its form. So this isn't the final form, okay? The final form will have posterizer on gold with 3 cap breakers, and it would have set shot specialist on Hall of Fame with 2 cap breakers. So 5 cap breakers right there make this build ready to be an offensive juggernaut, because 3-pointers are lethal, the mid-range is perfect, the free throws is high so you can be the main point guard, and then you're going to do contact dunks all game. Then you have enough dribbles, and your passing, this is very important. Anybody that's made a Pro-Am 5-on-5 type build, they have an 85 because they can't get the attributes I'm about to show you how I got them. They all have 85s, and there's nothing wrong with an 85. You can play perfectly fine in 5-on-5s, but with an 891, your passes are more faster, and your teammates are going to fumble less because of this, okay? And on top of that, you're going to have Diamond Hall of Fame, which you can max plus 1 it if you feel like it. If you have an extra max plus 1, throw that on there. You don't need it. Your teammates should be good enough to hit. But that's that. And offensively, it's a juggernaut. Okay? It's going to carry the team offensively. Now, defensively, you're going to wonder, what are you doing here? Well, interior at a 60 gives you paint patroller. Once you put your blocking, you might wonder, why is my blocking at 48? Well, this is going to go up to a 78 actually, with a couple cap breakers. Okay. 4 cap breakers bring this thing up. This is going to be later on in the build. We'll talk about why this is important. Then you have perimeter also with a cap breaker. It goes up You could have Silver Challenger, which you can buff up 2 levels with a max plus 2 when I show you how this build works. Then last but not least, well, I forgot to mention High Flyer is going to be on Silver. And then you're going to have an 85 here to have Interceptor on Gold. Okay, and Glove on Silver. Okay, this is the best of the best defensively that you can get while still having these attributes on offense. It took me a lot of time to figure this out. I promise you guys, but I figured it out and I'm so excited to show it to you. Now we're going to keep on skipping through some of these attributes. You're wondering why I'm not talking about them, that they don't matter right now. But I can get this up to a 70 with a couple cap breakers. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about getting this perimeter up with some cap breakers. You're going to see. Then after that, the speed is fast enough to keep up. You're going to be mostly guarding the lockdown in the corner. Remember, you're going to be intercepting those passes and blocking when they go in the paint. You have enough speed to keep up with them. An 80 agility, 77 is all you need. Actually, that's what I have on my other 6A. But this is going to go higher as the year goes. Then the verticals for contact dunks. You want to be able to meet the threshold for posterizer and the contact dunks that are very good. Right? And then originally what this says, the name doesn't matter as much, even though it says Speedy Offensive Engine. It's going to change 3 or 4 times with these cap breakers. So we'll showcase that in a minute. But you can see Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion, the most skilled we've seen in the NBA. Kobe Bryant. Right? And this is the build that you're getting originally without looking at the cap breakers in the max plus 1. Max plus 2s, and all of the systems that are in play with this build makes it outrageous. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how outrageous this build gets. You know, all this time, it took me a while to get here. So excited to show it to you. All right, so here it is. 3-level combo guard erasure. That's what it's called right now. Okay. I want to just show you how I did this. I'm going to give you the full rundown. Yes, you're seeing cap breakers. It has a 93. Drive and dunk, it's going to have a 93. Once I get one more specialization goal I have to get this, it's going to be at a 93. I'm not using my regular cap breakers. It's just for my shooting specialization. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's going to go there. And then I put 1 cap breaker into perimeter, which gives me 2 extra points. And I put 2 more into blocks, which this is going to go all the way up. Let's just take a look. This magical magicianry. This is standard here. You're going to use 3 cap breakers here. Those are your own. This is a specialization cap breaker. We're going to use another one here later. Get it? I use only one to get this to Silver Challenger, which I can put up to Hall of Fame. Promise you at 6'8", that's all you need. Right? Got it at Challenger on Hall of Fame and you're 6'8", with a 78. Once I get 2 more cap breakers in here on my blocks, a 78 block is going to allow me to get crazy blocks. Nobody want to be around me because I block like a center with this build. I already have clips and videos of me with my 6'8" with the same exact attributes on blocks and defense, interior defense. So it is already showcased what it's capable of doing. Once I get these 2 cap breakers, which is very soon, I'll showcase that in a minute. This is important. A 78 is the best threshold in my opinion. Then steel, be surprised. I'm gonna have this at an 85, okay, with 3 cap breakers. So all I need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cap breakers, and this becomes a 2-way guard, not a regular point guard. It is literally gonna be locking people up. It's gonna be intercepting with gold interceptor without a max plus 1 or 2, and I can buff that up higher if I really want to become the thief that I'm going to be doing with this build. So blocking anything, contesting everything, and then stealing everything. Okay, so it becomes a defensive juggernaut with just 5 cap breakers. I'm gonna have more than that within the next 2 weeks, and I'll show you guys how in just a second. But that's the key. Okay, 5 cap breakers, and then it's good to go. And this extra cap breaker is going to happen, and I get my specialization, which It would be quick. Now I want to talk about this. If you want to turn this into a 2s or 3s build, all I got to do is get some cap breakers here, put this up to 70. We'll be able to out rebound other guys. I can still get rebounds because I have an 80 vertical. If you're in good position, you're going to get the rebound. Okay. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. Then, like I said, the speed at 87 is exactly what I have on my other build, and it's been keeping up with point guards. And I'm not going to be guarding the point guard. I'll be guarding the lockdown. So I'll be fine. Agility is just fine. You don't need strength on a point guard for the most part. And then everything will stay the same. And all you do is after you get those 5 cap breakers, you could decide if you want to put perimeter up to a 90 for no reason. I'm going to put it up to a 86 right here with 2 cap breakers. And what that does is gives me better on ball and different things to buff me up defensively. I don't need it, but if I want it, I can. There's nothing offensively that I need. Everything can be spent over here. If I want more speed or agility, for example, I am going to use some for these, and it's good to go. I kind of take you through the badges, help you. Before I do it, let's just talk about the shooting. You want this very desperately. I'm going to rush through this now. I wasn't caring too much. I'm doing it slowly, but we're going to push through this to get the second cap breaker so that I can have the 93 mid-range to get set shot specialist on Hall of Fame without a max plus 1 or 2. So basically, I'm going to have this slot wide open, and I could put my shifty shooter here if I wanted to basically turn this build into some type of sap. So my set shot special is going to be on legend. My shifty shooter is going to be on legend. I'm going to have other things like, you know, let's say if I wanted limitless to be on gold, or which I would, or I can put my Deadeye, which I don't have here because I gotta max it out. Then on top of that, defensively, if I want to start putting different things in here to kind of disturb in the paint, if I feel like people are cutting on me a lot, which they won't because the build is ridiculous, I'd rather have like off-ball pest. I know it sounds crazy, but off-ball pest actually, when the lockdown is cutting from the corner, you can just tap L2 to grab him as he comes by. It stops them if you bump into them. A really good mechanic and way to play every once in a while. And you can just change it up on that. Then you're going to have more max plus 1s and 2s from the crew, where you can just put on anything and everything that you feel that you can help your team with. For example, challenge is going to definitely go up on this build, but I can also put on things like on-ball menace, which is going to be on silver. I'm going to turn it up to gold. Things like that. Like whatever I feel I'm weak at that I might need during my play, we'll have that and we'll be good to go. Okay, so the build is only getting stronger with those cap breakers going crazy. I want to talk about takeovers for a second. The main one that I'm going to be using is my all-around, a little bit of threes, a little bit of dribbles, and speed with ball, and then deep bomber, because I'm a pick and roll or ISO, and I want to be able to pop off from anywhere and make them just be like, oh my God, bro. So that's the ultimate goal with this setup. Okay. Now I want to run through my animations, trying to do this as quick as possible, but give y'all all the information that you need. Okay, so animations, do not look at this and think this is it, right? This is all subject to change for the most part. Tyrese is not changing. Zach LaVine is not changing. Okay, there's certain things that I won't change no matter what. For example, step back Devin Booker, guaranteed. Then the rest of these do change a lot depending on my scenario. Jordan Poole, for example, I just like the vibe of, one thing you got to know about size ups, it's really about how you want to speed burst out of them. Right? So I like when he's doing the between the legs, and I like to speed burst out of it or do an escape and then go into a speed boost. You can see some of these moves here and the maneuver of what you can do within them. A lot of people are using Tracy, myself included, on my other build, but when I'm playing 5-on-5, I want to be able to be diverse and give people different looks. So I kind of change it up. People are expecting this. They want these quick little simple ones. I do use Devin Booker just to be cheesy, but to be honest with you, you can change it up. Put on something that you might feel can work a little better. It's up to you. Personally, I do like Poole because of the burst. You can burst out of any of those moves and trick people. And there's like even Buddy Hill on a pick and roll. Sometimes I'll just pop this. People are like, what is he doing? And they'll jump at me, which gives me an opportunity to make a play. These are the things you got to understand. Psychologically, you got to change whatever you want. I like Jimmy Butler at times, but I do use Paul because I'm so used to it. Very clean escapes, but do not listen to everybody tell you use one specific thing. Try some other stuff. If you're a good enough player, you can make anything work, but there's some things that just fit you better in your playstyle. An example, I like Pro because it does it behind the back. This is a tight behind the back. It's not going to get bumped, and it's specifically for you to go the opposite way. So I use it and then I go the opposite way. That's how I play. And then Devin Booker, same thing. I've been using Lonzo Ball when I'm playing 1s or 2s or 3s, but on 5s, I'm coming up the court, and if there's a lockdown on me, I want him away from me. So I use this to get away from the lockdown, force him into a pick if I can. That's kind of what I use it for. But Lonzo Ball is the best to get a speed boost if you really want to push forward and use that. Go for it. Behind the back is another conversation starter. Let's just talk about Scotty. Scotty has the best moving behind the back, but that's it. Right? Everything else is weak on his. When you cut Paul, for example, behind the back, use Cody, who has an explosive behind the back and a well-rounded one. He has some of the best well-rounded overall moving ones. Right now, Devin Booker's tight. It's like in the window of a pick and roll when he's standing still. Look how small that is. You might not like it, but I like it for the pick and roll. And then his moving is smooth, so it's not compromising like some of the other ones that are very bad. That's why I like it the most for this play style. And then for hesitations, is another one of those big conversation starters. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but basically, Kevin Durant gives me the boost. I time this perfectly when I do the hezi and I go on a speed boost. But I love him when he bursts out of it from the standstill on a pick and roll. It really throws players off because you get a big boost and they're scared you're going to shoot, and you can just kind of manipulate the defense. That's why I use it. Devin Booker, the king of kings, he has a great hop back, great moving, and then even a walk back when you flick up on the right stick. I mean, down on the right stick. But for the pick and roll, Vince Carter's very good as well, especially for 6'8s. So you choose what you want. Let me know what y'all feeling. And then I want to talk about a couple of things in here. Motion style is something I'm still in the verdict of. Of course, you have a bunch of great testers testing this. I just don't know, man. There's so many variables in that conversation. We're not going to go through it. Hop jumpers. The main one I use is normal 2. Sorry, guys. I'm traditional. The reason why is because it can hop left, right perfectly. Zach LaVine's good for one side. Your dominant ball hand, you can do the craziest hop away, but the opposite side is slow and stagnant, just as good. So you can use it at your own discretion. I've been manipulating with this one a little bit, but I don't like it in the comp scene personally. It's not for me. If you want a speed boost, put on Jordan Clarkson, just like last year. I showed y'all how to do that. Basically, hold the right stick away from you. You do like a mini hop, and then from there you get a little boost. Okay, that's that. And then we're gonna go into the jumper very quickly. This is Scottie Pippen, and just the typical stuff. Rudy Gay always has a nice smooth jumper, and then y'all know I put y'all on to Beluga 3 years ago or whatever it was when it came out. I've been had y'all on that. Don't listen to nobody else lying to y'all. Go check the stats. Before the game released, I had it a week early. The first time Beluga came out, I said, yo, this is the best jumper in the game. Nobody believed it until now. I do not put scratch the backs and the quick drops. The reason I do this, I've been testing on how to get in the paint dunks more consistent, standing dunk almost, but not standing dunks, driving dunks. It's a trick. It takes a lot of skill and practice. I wouldn't recommend trying this until you watch like a tutorial that I'll do. But put the contact dunks for off of 2, and then the rest of these you're gonna follow. Contact dunks always, and then quick drops always. Only want to have the two-handed dunks competitively. Of course, if you're just hanging out, put on everything. Don't matter. But I just put this on for the baseline dunk. That's it. That's the only reason I put on the Kobe, just for that baseline dunk. LeBron James, strictly for the free throw line style junks. He's very fast, efficient, and you're going to be able to just yam on everybody, okay? Do the one-handed dunks. Same thing with Zach LaVine. He has very quick dunks, whether it's the two hands or the one hands. They're fast, they're hard, and it's hard to deal with. Ja Morant also has those quick dunks. He's shorter, but his animation's special when you can get him on a bigger guard because it's fast, vicious. Same thing with Westbrook. It's the only reason I have them. Now, I take them off sometimes because I want a basic, 2 animations and that's it. You don't want to have too much crazy stuff going on because you can get blocked. So be careful on the rest of this stuff. But those are the animations, and this is the official build that I'm going to be using for Pro-Am to play with you guys, play with everybody. Now, I want to talk about this. I'm going to get 3 cap breakers right here, and I got another 2 in the crew waiting for me. Okay, so that's 5 already. The new season starts literally in a week. So that's 6, okay? On top of that, this lifetime thing is happening slowly without me even trying. I'm almost at 150. And then I'm gonna get to 200 and get that second cap at some point, hopefully. I don't even know. But either way, there's still cap breakers to get in the game. After that, I'm not really rushing for more cap breakers. I have more than enough for the build, like I said. With those 6 that I just counted, you got 5 right here to be a defensive monster. And then the last one, you can decide on something you might do, start buffing up, slowly going up on other things. And then you're good to go for the year. And there's way more cap breakers to get. I'm not rushing to get any of them. I don't even care. But yeah, the build is locked in already from what I have here. Okay, so trust that, and you'll be good to go. Now, I want to kind of talk about one quick thing. This is a deep dive into the build, getting everything in one video to help you understand what to do. So in the background, you're watching my 6'8", who has some of the stats that I basically tested for $500 basically. The interior and the block together create the amazing defense. And then the steals at 85 has been so efficient. I've been getting interceptions. I've been getting really good stuff with my other builds. Remember, I got multiple builds that I test this stuff on. And then this very same build that you're watching, it has an 83 perimeter, and it contests extremely well. You can't handle these fading nonsense that's happening in 2K, but that's not the build's fault. It doesn't matter what build you put on. The lockdown needs somebody helping on the pick and roll for fades. So, and you're not going to be guarding the pick and roll. You're going to be in the corner guarding the lockdown most of the games. Only once in a while you have to pick up on a point guard. So they can't guard me either on the fades. I'm doing step back threes, doing hop jumper threes, fade threes, all types of stuff with a 6'8" that you're watching right now. And so defensively, it is going to be the monster. And then, of course, offensively, I already have all these things tested. Actually, this build that you're watching has a lower three-pointer. And the one that I made has way more shooting on the mid-range and the three. It's just well-rounded, both high 90s. So it's way more efficient. It's a deadly shooter. And then it does have a 93. And the videos that you're watching is 89 dunk right now. All these clips were when it was an 89 dunk. So it wasn't even with my 93 yet. I put that on later with Capri. And the build is pretty similar in some ways. And then it's just enhanced, optimized, brand new version. And I'm so excited for that. And so y'all gonna see that for yourselves. I want to do carrying my viewers now that I feel like I can go to the rec and just carry viewers with this build. It's super exciting. I invite you to join me on it. I appreciate y'all time and y'all energy, man. We're gonna rock out all year long. You are welcome to. If you're gonna make this build, again, make it with rec in mind. If you have enough cap breakers, you'll be capable of actually dominating right away. Because offensively, it's good to go for the most part. And then defensively, you're just adding a couple of cap breakers to take it over the end. To be honest with you, the point guards don't need steals or blocks. It's mostly supposed to just contest shots and just put up contest. Change the build with a 92 contest perimeter. You're good to go. And you just contest people and call it a day. Have a little bit of block, a little bit of interior. What my second 6-2 build has, it does okay. But yeah, that's the deal. Make sure you check out the next video. Should be popping up, breaking some more stuff down. I'm gonna do some deep dives on these builds like this. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Took 500 hours to make this video, man. I appreciate y'all time, your energy. Stay safe, stay blessed.